Welcome to Vesta's Interested Professionals webinar. My name is Robert Vona. I am the CEO of Vesta. Vesta has been around since 2013. We began in New England and moved across country to California, and now we're in 24 states. And we're continuing to expand our network so that we will be in all 50 states in the very near future. What is our program? Our program is designed to educate people going through separation, the divorce process, and the post-divorce process as well. And we educate them in three very specific areas: the legal, financial, and emotional areas. And we also, our program is really about our professionals. It's actually our core foundation of the company. And these professionals are vetted and trained, and we put together these hubs on all different locations across the United States to work together. And you'll hear more about both of these as we go forward. This slide is an important slide for people that have never been through divorce, and as a reminder for those that have been through divorce. Divorce is a powerful transition in anybody's life. As a matter of fact, many of us think a divorce is one of the most difficult life transitions that people will go through. And it's that way because it tends to stay with us the rest of our lives. And when you get divorced, it's not like someone passes away and they're out of your life. It's not like that. There are things that continue to happen after divorce. If you have children, you will always be in that person's life for the rest of your life, as long as there are children in your life. And there typically are lots of changes that happen after divorce, and which causes more legal contact and so forth. However, that's just one of the small areas of divorce. The emotional impact of divorce is powerful, and it is a very isolating process. Most people do not know how to actually help people going through divorce. I'll actually challenge you right now to go back to the earliest time that you can remember and think about when your parents came to you and told you that someone had died. What happened? Well, you remember that your family got together and your friends got together, society in some way got together, and today Facebook gets together to help us through that grieving process. And there are 1,001 books written about death and dying, and something happens very early in our lives that it's instinctual that we kind of understand that we'll get through that death, at least most deaths. But now go back to the earliest time you can remember and think about when your parents came to you and told you that somebody that you knew was getting a divorce. Most likely they didn't even come to you if you were too young, and you realized 10 years later that Aunt Sally and Uncle Sam were not living together and that they got a divorce. Or you saw the anger, you saw the sadness, you saw the resentment. You heard the negative things they say about the legal community. You hear the negative things that they say by them choosing one spouse over the other. And there's nothing really there to say, here's how you help somebody through that divorce. Sure, picking sides is always helpful for a person going through divorce. In the very early stages, it feels like there's somebody on their side, but that doesn't last very long. Divorce is very isolating, and there are many issues that are associated with, the different feelings that they have going through divorce. They can't dream in color. Why? High anxiety, high depression. They're unable to make decisions in this time frame. They're unable to see past the trees to even see what is possible on the other side of divorce. It's a very difficult time. And so these increased financial issues cause increased medical issues and increased emotional health issues. And ultimately, when that person leaves their house every day and walks down the street to the business that they own or the businesses that they work for, their productivity goes down by 40% and can last for as much as 7 years. So there's high termination rates of people going through separation and divorce. Businesses fail because owners are going through separation and divorce. It is a powerful impact. And these people going through divorce need your help, and they need it now. They don't need it 5 years from now. They don't need it yesterday. They want it now because this feels like a life and death situation. They're trying to answer this one question that's virtually on every person's mind going through separation and divorce. That question is, am I going to be okay? And so that's what Vesta is here to do, is to understand that person. And the more you understand a person going through separation and divorce, the more successful you're going to be. What is Vesta? Vesta, we consider ourselves to be all things divorce. And that just means we have services and professionals and products that fit every stage of divorce. And those stages are pre-divorce, which it's just contemplating whether or not to go to divorce. You probably haven't even told your spouse yet. Into the separation process, at divorce, and at post-divorce. So we're there to educate those people going through separation and divorce with programs and events that we have through live events and general marketing and video on demand and many other ways. We connect them with highly vetted professionals, those professionals that are competent, they are collaborative in nature, and most importantly, they're compassionate and want to help people get through the process. And by doing those two things, what happens to that person is that they're able to make sound, rational, and healthy decisions before they sign on the dotted line of that divorce agreement. What do we build? Well, you heard me talk a little bit about vetted professionals, and we look for lots of different types of professionals, and we categorize them into two areas. One are our core professionals, and the other are our specialists. Our core professionals are the legal team, the financial team, real estate, mortgage, and a therapist or a divorce coach. Why are they considered core? Because typically in most divorces, they are needed from the get-go. And they're needed, and again, in most divorces. If there's not any children in the divorce, then you probably won't need a college planner or a parenting coach. If there's not a business involved, then you probably won't need the business valuator. So you can see where our specialists may or may not fit in the process, but typically we just separate in that way so that when we're building what we call a hub, we need to have these core professionals in order to open up a hub. And in that core professionals, there are two legal, one litigator, one mediator at a minimum, one financial, one real estate, one mortgage, and one therapist or divorce coach. And this is for what we call our tier one. You're going to hear about 3 tiers today, but this is our tier one. This is kind of like what we want all of our professionals to graduate to. We want to build in your area a core group of professionals that are highly competent, highly collaborative, and compassionate people that know how to work together to really build something really special. And you'll hear more about that a little bit later on. We consider all of our professionals equal. The style and makeover of a person can be just as important as the legal professional. Why? Because if a style and makeover person can help a person feel comfortable and good about going out and interviewing because they haven't been in the workforce for 15 years. And that allows that person to be able to see what their situation is going to look like post-divorce, which allows them to make good decisions. Then that person becomes one of the most important people in that person's process. If you look at the symbol, this is how Vesta works. In the middle is the client, and our goal is to educate them with our programs, connect them to you, these highly vetted professionals, and empower them to make these sound, rational, and healthy decisions. And then surrounding this process is the professionals and various types of professionals. And in the legal side, we have, as we mentioned, litigation and mediation, but we're also collaborative law. There's estate planning, there's real estate, there's bankruptcy lawyers that are involved. On the financial side, our financial advisors all have to be certified divorce financial analysts or CDFAs in order to be a part of our program. In addition to those financial advisors, CDFAs, are the real estate and mortgage professionals professionals, CPAs, both on the forensic side and taxation or accounting side, business valuators, budgeting analysts, people, credit people. On the emotional side, therapists, divorce coaches, parenting coaches, health and wellness, career transitional people all fit into these categories and more. And the symbol is really showing that these professionals are linked together in a collaborative way, not mandated to work together, but understand the values that these professionals have. And this is, remember, in this first value proposition for you, the one that's most important to you is going to be about the professional network that we have built around you, not only in your geographical location, but also nationwide. And these are the three pillars of success. These are the core value propositions that you should take away from this video. The first and most important one is the vetting of professional in our hub culture. And we do the vetting, which includes an hour-and-a-half long application. Yes, an hour-and-a-half long. We take it very seriously. You should as well. And when you answer them just as yes and no questions, probably not going to get a call back. We are truly interested in who we're bringing into our organization. Secondly, we do background checks. Third, there'll be an interview with our senior management team. And then if we get through the process, there is training for you to understand the values of working with Vesta, how to use our system, and how to most importantly, work together in a hub and build a culture in a hub where it ends up that you get tremendous amounts of referrals from those professionals within the hub. So really important. Also, not only just in that hub, but nationally, the resources that you'll have nationally will be just amazing. You'll have people that are specializing in so many different areas that you can bring them into your life and for your clients' needs as you go forward. The second pillar of success is marketing and co-branding that we provide for you, and taking advantage of the co-branding. We provide tremendous amounts of content, from written to videos, and used in various marketing structures, whether it's live events, video on demand, various marketing enhancements that get to clients on a regular basis. Clients are seeing Vesta's branding. Why? Because Vesta is the only company that's actually marketing direct to consumer on a regular basis about separation and divorce. So they're recognizing us, and you as the professional should be taking advantage of all the types of content and badging and branding that we have to be able to co-brand and get your name out there so that you can be seen as that Vesta professional. And the third pillar of success is our concierge. Our concierge are live people, real people that actually speak to those people going through separation and divorce. To give you an idea, since 2013, our Vesta concierge team has talked to more people going through separation and divorce than anyone in the world. That is a major statement. That tells you how many people we're talking to on a day in, day out basis that are going through separation and divorce and post-divorce. And what do? Well, they find out where people are in the process. They're experts at this. All of our team has gone through divorce themselves, and they all have real significant backgrounds, from legal to emotional to financial. Some of them have multiple backgrounds that really play into the ability to help and guide people through the process. Now, they don't work with our concierge. Our concierge then refers them out to you, the professionals. So they do that in many different ways, and we'll show that to you in a minute. But those are our three pillars of success. The key ones are, first and foremost, the vetting of you, the professionals, and building the hub culture. Two, the marketing and co-branding of you and your hub and you as an individual professional. And lastly, the cherry on top, our concierge service. The vetting of professionals, as I mentioned, application, background checks, more. We really need to find what we classify as the 3 C's, that competency, the collaborative nature, and the compassionate work that you can do as a professional. And then looking and seeing how you have worked in the past as a professional, working with other professionals, and how you refer to other professionals. Building that hub culture. We train this. It's not simple. You need to learn how to work with other people. Even though you may think you do today, We will turn that up on steroids for you, because you will see that you have true resources. You will get to know how an attorney works specifically in their particular practice. You'll get to know how a divorce coach works specifically in their practice, and you'll become comfortable with them, that you will feel good about really referring people, and more importantly, bringing them into your process, because working together as professionals will make your client's experience better. And your client will stay in their lanes easier to ask questions of each individual profession in their profession. Meaning, if you're a lawyer, they're going to ask you legal questions. If you're a financial advisor, they're going to ask you financial questions. And if you're an emotional side, they're going to ask you emotional questions. And that's powerful. And those of you that are currently in the divorce industry and working alone, so to speak, you know that you become a little bit of everything when you're talking with people going through separation and divorce. Again, as we mentioned, getting to know the hub culture, it's really about getting to know the other professionals well, not just on a professional level, but also on a personal level, understanding their process, understanding their style, what makes them a valuable resource. In this part of the events that we have, you'll see that we have multiple types of events. First of all, we put the presentations together. We put the events together. We have two very go-to events that we use multiple ways: the ABCs of divorce, and the top 10 mistakes and how to avoid them. And those are just a couple that we've used since day one of Vesta. But we also have many topic-specific presentations. And if you, the professional, have a specific topic that you would like to present on, we are more than glad to review it and support that as a part of our events. When we produce all the documents for these events, and they get out to the clients prior to the events as well. How do we use the events? Well, first we do webinars, Zoom webinars, and these can be done in multiple ways. But first we have video on demand, meaning we want people to be able to come in, get these events, these recorded events, and be able to get them at any time of the day, whether it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 1 o'clock in the morning, whether it's in their car, while they're waiting for their kids at school, whether it's whether in some other place in the house where they're able to have access to their phone, because divorcing people, 90% of the information they get is from their cell phone. So video on demand is a really powerful thing. Secondly, we then have live webinars, and our hubs, tier 1 hubs, do live webinars. And they will do one a month, and it can be either a Zoom webinar or an in-person, face-to-face webinar. So those are types of events that we have. And then we have our reporting, where our concierge and our reporting team will talk about, how many people attended, how many registrants did we have? How many referrals have you been seeing that's coming out directly from our concierge, not including the referrals that you'll be receiving from other professionals within the hub. We create these Vesta directories for our hubs and on our website, but these directories for our events go out to clients beforehand. And as you can see, they're all branded in a certain way. On the right-hand side, you'll see 2 attorneys. They work for 2 different law firms in Boston, really top law firms. Both of these attorneys are exceptional attorneys, but they're branded together. Why do we do that? Well, we want our Vesta clients coming in, we want them to see that our professionals work together. And again, not required to, but work together. If you click on, Lisa's website here, it goes directly to her website and her branding, etc. But clients receive this prior to. And we also try to brand very effectively based on the community. This is downtown Boston, the Boston Common, the financial district. This directory does not look like the San Diego hub or the Beverly Hills hub or the North Carolina hub. They're all different, and they all have their flavor. Examples of some handouts. From a presentation standpoint, these are the presentations we put together. As you can see, there's a lot of just bullet points here. If you're a lawyer and you're looking at this key legal issues of divorce, and you're worried about memorizing this, You don't have to worry about memorizing this. If you don't know all of this on here, like the back of your hand now before you came to Vesta, then we're speaking to the wrong person. Actually, this is just bullet points for things to say. These are the things that you should at least address. And we do this for all of our core professionals and making sure that they have something to make sure that they're addressing the areas that clients are really interested in. Excuse me. And Vesta's language, we teach this. And it's an important kind of language because these are terms that actually affect people going through divorce. As I mentioned, we are here to answer the big question that people have: am I going to be okay? Meaning, what is it going to look like on day one of the divorce? Where am I going to be living, and how am I going to be affording that? Where are my kids going to be? How is that all going to work? And this is what really slows up the divorce process. When a person cannot answer this question, they're unable to make lots of decisions. And there are many of these types of things. We're talking about the price of peace, and making decisions on negotiation of assets and things of that nature. Is it really worth that $50 blanket that was given to you by your grandmother over not settling this divorce? And that's a big decision. And there's not a right and wrong answer, but there is a financial answer to it. And so there are things to really look at as you're going through, and we teach all of that. The second area, again, is the Vesta co-branding and marketing. What do we do? First, for all of our events, whether they are live events, Zoom events, video on demand events, or people that want to get to our website with information or blogging, educational aspects. We go out to lots of different platforms, as you can see here. And we do this on a religious dedicated basis, and reaching people in every possible way that can. There are actually even a few more that are not on here that we go out to as well. And with that, we are branding the events, we're branding the education, we're branding the hubs, we're branding the professionals. And what we want our professionals to do is, when they see our branded marketing out there, is to like and share it, to repost it, to actually take on some of our marketing content. We provide you so much marketing content, and bring it into your own marketing systems now. It's valuable when you're bringing in an organization that is going to bring on resources for people that are going to help you and your clients through the process. So as you can see, we do a tremendous amount of marketing to get out there. And where does this marketing go? As we mentioned, the video on demand. We put together a tremendous amount of event graphics that you will have complete access to. You'll be on the Vesta website, and as we mentioned, the hub directories before. Each of you will have an intro video that you'll be able to do. That will be on the website. That will also be, you could use in your email process. And then we am promoting everything on social media. You'll get a professional toolkit, and that toolkit, and this isn't just handed to you. We go through this training aspect for you so you understand how to access everything. Vesta is not going to leave you out there on your own. In our tier 1 hubs, we're with you for months until we feel you are capable to be handling live events on your own. And so that is true of the training that we do for all of our tiers to make sure that you are capable and you're accessing the information that will be valuable to you. We build a professional content library, both on the written area, but on videos as well. We're building video libraries now for each individual hub and for professionals as well. And then you'll see, we'll go out to the attendees, and not just the attendees, we call it an attendee newsletter, but it's actually, we go out to all registrants. Anybody that contacts Vesta, they become part of our marketing campaign, our constant feeding of educational material on a regular basis. And so our newsletter goes out to them twice a month, along with other kinds of contact and marketing enhancements that we do. If you know of people in your region that are in the media, any type of media, get us involved. We will help you get in front of cameras, on radio, in the written form, or we'll come in as a company way and support you and do the interviews and marketing for that program. We turn to you as a professional and say, hey, help us to help you. If you help us identify these areas, like the religious leaders in your community, the therapist and marriage counselors in your community, get us their names and contact information, their emails and telephone numbers. We will commit to a marketing program directly to them. We want those leaders, all of these organizations, hairstylists, probably the number one area where people open up about getting a divorce is the first place is there. We're marketing to them on a regular basis to let them know that you, our vetted professionals, are their resources to help people going through separation and divorce. And then again, our third area is our concierge. Everything, every marketing program, every way that a person that is going through separation and divorce or post-divorce reaches us, that comes in with this area and comes to our Vesta concierge. They are speaking to every person. When they come to an event, a live event, after that event, not only are we contacting the people that attended, but we're contacting people that registered and didn't attend. So we're contacting every single person, and you'll see how we do that. And we're contacting them, and we're finding out where they are in the process, and then our tremendous team here then refers them out to you as professionals, and we refer them out in various ways. And how does concierge do this? What's the value to that? Well, they set up appointments for you directly. If you give us your Calendly link or a calendar link, we will put them right into your appointment calendar. And that's a great way of doing it. And there's other ways that they do it as well. And what's that allow you to do? Well, it allows you to spend more time working with clients instead of prospecting or marketing. That is like, most professionals miss that. That is a really important part. The amount of work and energy to put the marketing programs together, the content together, and then the concierge area together to do all of that is a tremendous time suck, and it's hard work, and that frees up your time to be able to work and do what you do well, which is working with clients. And then in this, the clients potential are prepared for. They're prepared for the meeting prior to you contacting them, meaning the concierge does such good work with people on the phone that you're going to receive a lot of information beforehand that, a lot of attorneys say, wow, you already did my full consultation beforehand. So we get a lot of information to be able to assist you. And so our concierge goes out, and when they have a live event, they'll go out 24 and 4 hours before the event to make sure and remind people to come. They'll send out emails after the event to the people that attended and to people that didn't attend but registered and just said, sorry, we missed you in that process. Then they call everyone that registered, whether they came to the event or not, within 48 hours after the event. And then they continue to follow up with regular registrants. And we use 4 major marketing enhancements that involve cell phones and texting and emails and video on demand, all of these different areas to constantly stay in front of the client. How do they get, as we mentioned, they get these referrals to you. We mentioned the calendar right through your calendar link. This is the most, the best way to do it. This is the most effective way. The second one has been through doing a warm emailing referral where the concierge, the client, and you as the professional are all on the email together. Make this really clear. All referrals coming to you as the professionals, they have been requested by the client to do so. This is not referrals that we send out that are, they might need you. They might want to talk to you. Oh, they're going through divorce. That's not it at all. We get a lot of information, and they say it is okay for us to refer you to them. If we don't do a warm information and we let a warm referral, we will then give you all of the information and allow you to make the phone calls out directly to them. And again, it's with the client's permission. And then lastly, if we can't do that, then we we give the information to the client. And that may not sound like the most effective way of doing it. It's not, but that doesn't mean we just give them the information and we walk away. We constantly stay in contact with them to find out if they've reached out yet. Sometimes it's just a timing thing when they're ready to actually move forward. You receive a couple of documents. It's a 2-page document, and it's from our concierge about the actual referral. And there's lots of information. You're not even seeing the first full page here, but there's lots of information about the person, what stage of divorce they're in. Are they working with an attorney? But they're looking for an attorney. Do they want to talk to somebody? Then you will receive a second page, and there's a lot of just general information, where they are in the process, who is their support group that they have for themselves, what's concerning them about the divorce, etc. And you get all of this prior to you actually reaching out to the client. You get that at the time the referral is made to you. And then the referral process, not only that's received from Vesta, but the referrals that you are receiving from other professionals. And a lot of times people just think that that's an automatic, it just works. That is just not true. Most professionals really do not know how to refer to another person or think about it on a regular basis. And because they actually don't really think about how it actually helps themselves. And that's a really powerful thing. I will guarantee you that in our tier 1 hubs, if you get to a place where you are referring and the hub is referring on a regular basis, all other referral sources that you had in your past will go away. From a standpoint that you won't see them as valuable anymore, because the key people are these people helping you through the process. We train this as a part of our program, and you'll get to see how to actually make those referrals work really well for you within the hub. And then we, as a part of that training, we put this whole training process together for you. And what are your next steps? And so one of them might be, let's do a mock ABCs event, where it's a training aspect, or it might be a mock one later on, as you can see here on the 23rd, where we're doing one to actually record it as a video on demand. Other things on the schedule, we want you to make sure that you're taking advantage of all the things that we offer. And we offer 3 major professional development programs. One is just called the Professional Development Program. And that happens every other month, and it's on various topics. And this one lists out divorce and special needs. So there'll be various speakers inside the company, outside the company that will come in for that. There is also something called FIPRO, which is Financial Professional Series. It's not just for financial professionals, it's for all professionals. And it talks about financial strategies and ways to get people to move into a process of how to divide assets and understand and getting to the answer of, am I going to be okay? A third one, which is not on here, is called Vesta Advisors. And that happens every month. And that is where all of our professionals have the ability to get together and really talk about how where there are great networking opportunities. And you will find that you have resources all across the country. Our attorneys love this because they realize just how many great legal professionals there are within the Vesta system. So when they are referring out clients across the country, they feel at ease just going and finding a Vesta professional. It also helps you understand just how this process works. And you can hear people talk about their process in a different way. And that is a great way of being able to support you and the professionals. But the 3 tiers that we've been talking about. So the 3 tiers, tier 1 that we've been really talking the most about here, that's what our full tier looks like. And we have 20 of those around the country right now. And what we've learned is that it's really essential to build not with a full tier at the get-go. It's really important to sort of build it organically. And what I mean by that is when we first built Vesta, we built Vesta 1 professional at a time. And when we did that, we found that we were able to bring in the right professional into a group on a regular basis. And so we're in that stage where tier 2 and tier 3 are those organic levels. So as you remember, I mentioned in tier 1, we need those 6 vetted professionals, those core professionals, before we can open up that hub. But in tier 2, we need 3. And it doesn't matter which group of the three, we need three vetted professionals in order to set it up. And on the tier 3 area, we only need one vetted professional. So there are different values at being at each stage of the Vesta process. And our goal is to actually get these tier 3 people to become tier 2 and the tier 2 to become tier 1. And doing that in an effective process over a period of time. And that period of time is undetermined. It could be 8 months, it could be 2 years. And so it really depends on where you are and the types of professionals we're finding in those areas. And as you can see here, all the different types of areas that are value propositions to our professionals and their tiers, that the consumer marketing and the branding, everybody gets. There's just that's part of the process. The events, the Vesta events, so they're the live events done by the hub, are for the tier 1 areas. There are events for our there are video on demand events and other marketing events, not live events, for tier 2. And those, because you're limited to maybe only 3 professionals in that hub, there could be 3, 4, or 5, but since there's not enough of a contingent to do a live webinar, we use our advisory board. And our advisory board are some of the most spectacular professionals. They're still in our hubs across the United States, and they will do the live events for you. And so that's powerful. And then on tier 3, there aren't any events in that area. And so the professional development, everybody gets all the professional development programs. There's more training and there's more development for the tier 3 hubs because there's just more people involved, and there's a lot more information that comes about for those hubs and so forth. So that kind of works that way. And the referrals, everybody will get referrals, but there's a more consistent focus on the referrals on the tier 2 and tier 3, tier 2 and tier 1 areas. Tier 3 will get referrals. They're not as active and as focused. We do provide them. It's just a matter of where there's not as many events that are happening for a tier 3. But for tier 3, you have a much greater access. Tier 3, you won't be in a hub, but let's say, for instance, you were classified as a tier 3 person in Massachusetts. We have 6 hubs in Massachusetts. If you're a tier 3, you might be able to associate with all 6 of those hubs, because you offer a very unique experience, because you are a forensic CPA, and that forensic CPA is needed in all of those hubs, and we don't have them in all the hubs. So there is real great value there for our tier 3 people as well. And so the cost for those are different, as you can see. For cost for our legal, divorce mediators, our financial CDFAs, our real estate mortgage professionals, and the tier 1 area is $500 a month. And for divorce coaches and therapists and CPAs, etc., it's $250 a month. Our tier 2 is half that cost. So tier 2 is $250 a month for those legal divorce mediators, financial people, and $125 for divorce coaches and therapists. And then our tier 3 is a one-time annual $600 a year. So you can see that there are differences in there, but there are values in each one of them that will provide really good value props back for you. This is a more detailed area of tier 1, 2, and 3. We will send this out to you. You either received it already or you will receive it in a very short period. Again, the key takeaways from the presentation I hope you got was, first and foremost, are the vetted professionals. They are super important. They provide lots of value to you and your clients. And most importantly, you're going to end up getting quite a bit of referrals from the vetted professionals in your hub. The second most important area is our co-branding and the marketing that we put together for you, and the marketing programs that we implement on the various platforms. That is, there are no other costs associated with marketing unless you want to do some marketing on your outside on your own. There aren't any other costs associated with that. And again, remember that Vesta is the only company that is marketing directly to the a client going through separation, divorce, and post-divorce, and they're seeing seeing our branding, so take advantage of this. And then lastly, again, our cherry on the top is our concierge. We just remember they speak to more people than anybody in the world. And they do it day in, day out, sometimes 6 and 7 days a week as a part of our process. So those are the key takeaways. What's next? There is a Vesta application. You can go to vestadivorce.com. In the professional section is the application. Fill it out and have a discussion with us. You'll also receive an email from our operations manager, Jenna Reed, and she will also include that Vesta application along with some value propositions and the tier 1, 2, and 3 listings. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope I answered a lot of questions for you, and really truly hope that we get to meet you in the future. Have a nice day.